Hi, I'm Kat, founder of doddl, and we design great, innovative mealtime products for children. Choose your manufacturing setup carefully. For us as a business, we're really passionate about supporting UK manufacturing, and so we had always intended to set up in the UK. We had considered the pros of that in terms of supply, so making sure goods could be manufactured and delivered quickly into our retailers, quality control, all those elements. But in reality, for us as a business, it didn't work. We couldn't successfully manufacture the product to the standard required, and the costs shot up, so had increased by more than 50% on top of the original prices. So we had to make the difficult decision to move our manufacturing back to China at considerable cost, and that was a critical moment in the business. Crowdfunding sites are a hotbed for copycats. So our experience, we looked at Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and we actually launched on Kickstarter, and it's a great platform for new businesses reaching a global market. So they definitely have their place and their positives. But with that do come some negatives, and that's in the form of copycats that will often trawl these sites because they know there's lots of innovative new products coming onto the market. And they'll trawl these sites, and then they'll take the idea, and very quickly they're all set up to turn it around to try and launch the product into market before you get a foothold. So definitely my advice would be, make sure your IP is solid and in place in the relevant territories, especially likes of China and the other key markets you're looking to sell into. And keep an eye on what is happening, do some checks on websites, etc. To try and see what is happening to other designs that are very similar to yours. So doing business with family can have its challenges. The reality for me is that I couldn't have got this business started without my family, but it does bring its challenges, and that's because when you start with your family, especially when it's just an idea, then you're not necessarily thinking through to the bigger picture and having all the relevant agreements, documentation in place, because you just keep working through each sort of day, week with your family. So my advice would be that if you are going to get into business with family, you need to set the parameters right from the start in terms of managing expectations, how it's going to work, because you want to try and keep the business separate to the family dynamic. Will play a part in your success. I have no doubt that every successful business about today has had an element of luck at some point. There's also going to be a huge amount of bad luck, and we find it's a constant roller coaster we're riding. You feel you're heading up and then you're coming back down. You can work your socks off, put your life and soul into your business, but the reality can be that until you have that small lucky break, it's hard to move your business on to the next level. With the best will in the world, whatever you think you're going to spend, double it. And I would say this is particularly important when you're setting out on your journey and it's a new business, because every penny counts. But you're not working with any historical data, and that's why it's so hard to make accurate forecasts and budgets. So as your business matures, it does become easier when you have data to work from, and you can set your budgets and forecasts, and they do become more accurate. But actually when it really matters is in those early days where finances are tight, and it really does make a difference every pound you spend. So my advice would be, always allow a contingency, because things will always cost more than you think they will. So I'm Kat Dodd, and those are the 5 things I wish someone had told me when I started out on my journey.